much more than just a series of small, isolated incidents. It's now apparent that an organized criminal element is at work. And at the moment, business is good. So good, in fact, that there appear to be no eyewitnesses to any of these crimes. With complaints ranging from purse snatching to breaking and entering, police switchboards have been swamped with the angry voices of more and more citizens who have fallen prey to the recent surge of crime that continues to plague the city.
They call themselves anonymous. They are hackers on steroids, treating the web like a real-life video game, sacking websites, invading MySpace accounts, disrupting innocent people's lives, and we can fight back once again.
Instead of getting better, things have actually gotten worse. Even more alarming is the baffling and often bizarre nature of these crimes. Merchandise of every size and description, from skateboards to stereo systems, has been disappearing from store shelves and storage areas at an alarming rate. Even the victims themselves rarely catch a glimpse of the thieves. Many don't even know they've been victimized until it's too late. In fact, police have yet to come up with a single eyewitness. Only a few vague reports of young boys or teenagers at the scenes have been filed. But whoever is behind these crimes, one thing is certain. These are much more than just a series of random, isolated incidents.
New York police want to know how a woman's body ended up in a utility closet of a club near Times Square. Plus, movie mayhem. The shocking new video that shows real-life felonies being committed. Why the filmmaker says it's educational.
Crimes without criminals, an invisible gang at work, who are we gonna call? Unfortunately, the police are the only ones available to combat what some are already dubbing the silent crime wave. But perhaps the most disturbing silence is that coming from City Hall. April O'Neil, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
The search for the little girl has not stopped, and in fact, Quebec Provincial Police are now talking about a new lead today. They confirm they're investigating 5 so-called persons of interest.
You've heard of girls gone wild, but criminals gone wild? So, is it for real? You decide. Coming up.
It's called Criminals Gone Wild, but did a documentary filmmaker in Brooklyn go too far?
He shot a film showing criminals robbing at gunpoint, stealing cars, and also threatening lives. But he says that he never asked them to do a thing.
If I see somewhere that's sweet, I'll give on the force, nigga, I'm robbing.
Criminals admitting their crimes. And shocking video of felonies being committed right in front of the camera.
There is a shocking heads-up for parents about teen drug use. One Florida Sheriff's Department warns there's a new way for your kids to get high. As Fox City's Jack Miller reports, they're using raw sewage.
The Washington Post, the Drugs Report, and Inside Edition are all talking about Jenkum.
They could be toxic and harmful.
The bulletin describes Jenkum as gas produced by raw sewage that's allowed to ferment. Pictures show young people who appear to be breathing in Jenkum. When we mentioned this new concoction to people on the street here in Jacksonville, not only had they never heard of it before, but they said they didn't want to...
We are presently executing a plan of redeployment that will minimize response time while maximizing coordination between patrol units in a decentralized networking scheme.
I'm not sure I understood all that, Chief Stearns. Would you mind repeating it? In English, perhaps?
What that means, Miss O'Neill, is that we have everything well in hand.
On the New York City subway, it's hard enough finding someone who will give up his seat to a
Don't worry, I'm the Great Wizard Motortug.
We begin tonight with a bizarre twist in a 26-year-old murder case. A local woman killed in Roselawn. At the time, police thought she was raped before she was murdered. Now, decades later, we found out she was sexually assaulted hours after her death. And News says Eric Black is live downtown tonight with more. Eric?
Suri, a man once trusted to care for the dead, now charged with violating the body of a corpse in one of the worst ways imaginable.
It's a revelation that's sending shockwaves from here at the coroner's office all the way to the prosecutors.
His Achilles tendon cut so he couldn't flee, and was then hacked in the back till he died. His body was covered and dumped in the bush. His wife Joey had her head stoved in by a brick wielded with such force her skull cracked like an egg as she watched TV at home.
People living in that community, because the thing about this case, Martha, is the fact that who's ever committing these crimes, it seems to me, is very familiar with the layout of that general area down there. And so they're very familiar with the area, so they know the getaway route. So right now, all the people in that area, whether they're college students or not, need to be very, very vigilant in terms of the people that they're meeting and actually look out for each other. And I say definitely use the buddy system in terms of hanging out on the street, because this person is still out and he's probably looking for his next victim right now.
Divided dead shortly before 1:30. The death of the 53-year-old builder is being investigated by West Midlands Police with assistance from the Gloucestershire Constabulary.
On Sunday, her mother reported her missing on Tuesday. The Brilliant spokesman says the first time she heard about the body found after her birthday party was Wednesday. Actress Lisa Ray McCoy-Missing told the New York Times that she was at the party that night and didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. The club and its corporate officers have yet to release a statement, but signs posted in the club's front door say the popular tourist hangout is scheduled to reopen on Friday. Police say they have no suspects, and an autopsy will be conducted to determine what caused Rivera's death.
The FBI is taking on $1 billion project to gather fingerprints, palm patterns, even digital pictures of faces. Eventually, it could expand to include iris patterns, face-shape patterns, scars, even information about how you walk and talk. It's called biometrics.
Details tonight about that gruesome killing on a Greyhound bus in Manitoba. We also know more about the man who stands accused of his murder.
Claire Matz joins us live.
And Claire, two important points here. Daytona Beach police identified the woman found last week, and they say it is the work of the elusive serial killer.
Well, it's very possible, Martha. This is really very disturbing. The fact that a 30-year-old woman was found murdered, and the fact that a serial killer who preyed on women from December 2005 until February 2006, then went quiet, may have suddenly reemerged.